Once upon a time, in a small town surrounded by green hills and crystal-clear rivers, there lived a young boy named Tim. Tim was a curious boy, always exploring the world around him. His friends often called him Tim the Explorer, because he was always looking for new adventures. But Tim had one unique passion: he loved to read. Even though he was still learning, he was fascinated by books, stories, and the magic they held. One sunny morning, Tim was exploring a part of town he had never been to before. As he walked down an old cobbled street, he noticed a peculiar building. It was an ancient library, its walls covered in ivy, with towering shelves visible through dusty windows. It looked like it hadn't been visited in ages. Tim felt a strange urge to go inside, as if the library was calling to him. Tim took a deep breath, walked up to the large wooden door, and pushed it open. The door creaked loudly as if it hadn't been opened in years. Inside, the library was dark and cool, and Tim could feel a gentle breeze swirling around him. As his eyes adjusted to the dim light, he noticed something truly magical. The books on the shelves were floating, gently bobbing up and down as if they were in a pool of water. Tim's mouth dropped open in amazement. He had never seen anything like it before. As he walked further into the library, he noticed a small glow near one of the shelves. Suddenly, he heard a tiny voice say, "Welcome, Tim. You have entered the magical world of words." Tim looked around, trying to find where the voice was coming from. To his surprise, a tiny fairy with delicate wings and a friendly smile flew down from one of the shelves. She had bright, sparkling eyes and wore a dress that shimmered like the stars. "I am Lily the library fairy," she said. "I am here to guide you through an adventure where you will learn 100 essential English words that will help you become a great speaker." Tim grinned with excitement. "Will it be difficult, Lily?" "Not at all," replied Lily, laughing softly. "Learning these words will be fun, and by the end, you'll be able to talk about many things with ease." Together, Tim and Lily started their adventure. They began with people and family words. People and family. In this chapter, Tim learns essential family-related words like father, mother, brother, sister, and friend. Guided by the fairy Lily, Tim is shown images of families that come to life in the floating pages of a magical book. Each family member is portrayed, allowing Tim to associate each word with a visual representation, helping him remember them more easily. Tim thinks about his own family and friends, creating a personal connection to each word. Lily explains the importance of knowing family words, as they help him express feelings about people he loves. This chapter introduces Tim to words that are fundamental in everyday communication, fostering a sense of closeness and familiarity. It reminds him of his support network, and he feels excited to use these words to describe his own family. Places in our world. In this chapter, Tim steps onto a glowing, enchanted map that shows various places in the world, such as school, home, park, market, and hospital. Lily explains each location, giving Tim vivid imagery to help remember each place. Tim recalls specific memories tied to these places: school for learning, home for comfort, and the park for play. As each place on the map illuminates, Tim visualizes different scenes associated with these words, deepening his understanding. This chapter introduces him to words essential for navigating daily life and describing his surroundings. Through Lily's guidance, he begins to realize the practical importance of these words and feels more confident knowing he can talk about the places he frequents. Everyday things. In this part of the journey, Lily shows Tim a collection of floating everyday objects, such as a pen, book, phone, bag, and money. Each item hovers in the air, and Tim eagerly examines them one by one, recognizing many as things he uses daily. By seeing these objects in the library, Tim connects the vocabulary to tangible items, making it easier for him to remember. Lily explains that these words will allow him to talk about his belongings and the things he interacts with regularly. This chapter emphasizes practical vocabulary, helping Tim build a foundational language to discuss his environment. Through this interactive session, he understands how these words enhance his ability to communicate, giving him a sense of ownership over the vocabulary. Furniture and home essentials. In a cozy section of the library arranged like a home, Tim encounters furniture words, table, chair, bed, sofa, and cupboard. The scene makes him feel at ease, as he associates each item with his own home. Lily explains that these are the basics of describing a household, providing Tim with words to talk about the spaces he lives in. Tim imagines each piece of furniture from his own house, deepening the connection to the words. This chapter helps him recognize common home items, fostering confidence in discussing familiar settings. By visualizing his own room, he feels prepared to describe his surroundings, understanding that these terms give him the ability to share more about his personal life. Food and drink. In a magical kitchen within the library, Tim is introduced to basic food items: water, bread, apple, milk, rice, and vegetable. Lily presents each item, allowing Tim to observe and interact with them. As he watches and touches each food item, he relates them to what he eats daily, which makes the words feel practical and relevant. Lily explains that food is a universal topic, so learning these words will allow him to discuss meals and connect with others. This chapter introduces Tim to essential vocabulary for everyday conversations around eating and drinking, bridging cultural gaps and providing him with language he can use socially. Through this immersive experience, Tim gains confidence in talking about his favorite foods and drinks. Nature. Lily leads Tim outside to a beautiful enchanted garden filled with words from nature: sun, moon, star, tree, flower, and river. Tim is captivated by the garden's beauty and the harmony of nature. Each word describes something he sees, and Lily teaches him how to talk about the natural world around him. He learns that these words are helpful in describing scenery and can make his speech more vivid. This chapter teaches Tim the value of words that connect him to the outdoors, allowing him to describe the world's beauty. Surrounded by greenery and the calming sounds of the garden, he feels a sense of wonder and excitement about nature words, which he knows will enrich his language skills. Colors of the rainbow. In a scene bursting with color, Tim learns the names of basic colors: red, blue, green, yellow, white, and black. A bright rainbow appears, each color clearly visible and vibrant. Lily explains that colors help us describe the appearance of objects and surroundings, making communication clearer. Tim associates each color with familiar items, like red with apples and blue with the sky. By seeing the colors in a rainbow, he understands how they can describe everyday things vividly. This chapter helps him realize the importance of color in communication, making descriptions come alive. He feels a new appreciation for colors, knowing they add richness to language. Actions and movements. In a magical playground, Tim practices action words such as run, walk, jump, sit, stand, eat, drink, sleep, read, and write. As he performs each action, Lily describes what he's doing, helping him link each word to a specific movement. This interactive experience brings the vocabulary to life, making it easier for Tim to remember. Lily explains that action words are essential for daily communication, allowing him to describe what he's doing. This chapter is playful and energetic, helping him engage physically with the language. By moving and interacting, Tim feels confident that he can use these words in conversations about activities, making his language more dynamic. Feelings and emotions. In a room filled with mirrors, Tim sees his reflection displaying different emotions: happy, sad, angry, tired, hungry, and excited. Lily helps him identify each feeling by showing expressions on his face, allowing him to recognize and name each emotion. She explains that emotions are key in expressing how we feel to others. Tim learns that these words help others understand his feelings, making communication more personal. This chapter deepens his understanding of emotions, emphasizing the value of emotional vocabulary. By connecting with his feelings, Tim realizes that language allows him to share his inner experiences, which builds empathy and connection with others. Directions and positions. In the final chapter, Tim learns directional words like up, down, left, right, near, and far. Lily arranges floating objects in different positions around the room, guiding him through each location. By pointing and saying each word, he practices describing where things are. This chapter introduces vocabulary crucial for navigating spaces, helping Tim describe the position of objects. He enjoys the interactive element, feeling like he's solving a puzzle. Through Lily's guidance, he gains confidence in talking about directions and places, which will help him communicate better in daily life. This chapter concludes his journey, equipping him with practical language skills and a sense of accomplishment. As the sun began to set outside, Tim looked at Lily with gratitude. "Thank you, Lily," he said. "I've learned so much." Lily smiled warmly. "You're welcome, Tim. Now you know 100 essential words. Keep practicing them, and soon you'll speak English fluently." Tim promised he would return to the magical library often. Every day, he planned to visit, learn a few more words, and grow even better at English. As he left the library, he felt a deep sense of accomplishment, excited to share his adventure with others. And so, Tim's journey in the magical library became a lifelong adventure of learning, exploring, and discovering the magic of language.